I had a end of the year hockey.
Unmuted. Hey everyone, can you hear us okay?
We can hear you clear.
Oh yay, oh, and we can hear you guys, awesome. Okay, we'll give a couple more minutes for anyone else to hop on before we get started. Maybe a smaller group tonight since we are doing it on a different night. Which is, this is the only month we're doing it on a Tuesday. So it'll go back to Wednesdays next month.
Something going on tomorrow night?
You know, it's Cinco de Mayo and we didn't know if people were gonna be, you know, having plans or whatever. So we just figured we'd do it on a Tuesday.
Tuesday's difficult for me. Just, I have council and the depot board alternate every week. So I just hopped off the depot meeting a little bit early.
We're glad you can make it, and it'll be back to Wednesdays. This is just a one-time switch. So we're gonna keep it on the normal Wednesday. This is just a one-time. Okay. I think if anyone else hops on, we'll let them in. So we can probably go ahead and get started.
You were cutting out there. I don't know if that was me or you.
Oh, okay. Am I cutting out now? Can you hear me? We're hard to hear. Okay. Let me see if that helps. Okay, is that a little bit better? Are we still choppy? Any better? Can you hear us?
It's better.
Better? Okay, awesome. What I was saying, Jill, is this is just a one-time Tuesday. We're going to be keeping it on the Wednesday. And so, yeah, we won't be changing the date. It'll say Wednesdays. It's just this 1 month. But I think
Okay.
everyone who's here is here, so we should be good, I think, to get started if everyone's ready. Okay.
Hey guys, we're gonna start off with our regular roll through of information. So maybe Jill and Brett, if you guys could tag team maybe a little bit and tell us about any updates with the city, how the clean sweep went, Brett, if you have any more information about the proposal about, closing down College Street, that section, or downtown parking, or anything else in the works at the moment, especially coming about with, kind of very dry spring and water restrictions, etc. So whoever wants to take it away first, be awesome.
Yeah, sure. I'm more than happy to kind of walk you through that. A couple things. We did a clean sweep about a week ago. It was successful. It wasn't quite as well attended as in years past just because of the weather, the rainy weather and things like that. And with COVID and things, again, it was attended in terms of the drop-off sites. People were dropping off items. We had Les Schwab involved in terms of the tire drop-off and things like that. I don't have counts as far as how much trash was dropped off, but I can get that for you next month. I can get that from Todd Abelman in terms of that. I don't have an update on College Street this time. I think that's something in the works, but again, I'm not up to date on that from Todd as well. We do have a planning commission meeting coming up on next Monday, the 10th. And that is for a zone change for the business park to allow a self-storage facility. So that's a proposal coming in. It's going to planning commission. So that will be discussed that evening. And the only other thing I had to share with you guys is a quick 2-3 slide PowerPoint. And I could, if you guys give me the privilege to share screen, I can pop that up.
Perfect. Yeah. Just a second.
Yeah. Okay, you should be good to share your screen now, Brett.
Okay, let me pop up the presentation. Okay, quick 3-slide presentation just to give you an update as to where things are in Cheney in terms of unemployment. I get from a data source down in Southern California, weekly unemployment data that comes every month, and just came in yesterday for the up through the month of April. Company down there called Applied Geographic Solutions has basically been compiling unemployment data at the county level, zip code level, and census block group level. So very granular. So this just looks at the West Plains, Area Heights, Medical Lake, Cheney, the 99224 zip code, which is the West Spokane zip code in Fairchild, and looks at the unemployment, how it's been tracking since January through the end of April. And as you can tell here, it's been generally tracking downwards. However, we kind of bottomed out there at the beginning of April. And we're starting to kind of bottom out there, maybe tick up a little bit. As you can see, the highest unemployment right now, well, as of current, is right around 9.5% or so is Cheney, followed closely behind by Area Heights, Medical Lake a little bit lower. Same with 99224 zip code. And the lowest one right now is Fairchild, as one would expect, because that's the base and federal employment is pretty stable. So Cheney's unemployment is not completely out of line. It's a little bit higher. And we'll just kind of keep monitoring that. It looks like as of today, the governor is keeping us in phase 3 instead of phase 2. So I think that's a good thing for us, especially in the hospitality industry. Hopefully we won't be seeing another round of layoffs in the restaurant and hotel sectors. But yeah, again, we just have to make sure people are getting vaccinated and all that kind of good stuff, and we keep those numbers down so we stay in phase 3 and don't go to phase 2. So yeah, this is just a quick snapshot of where unemployment is right now in the West Plains. So we're all kind of doing about the same. Again, hopefully we can get the Cheney's unemployment down into the maybe 5-6% range, which would be a good number to be in. The next slide I have kind of looks at basically, I'll move this here. Basically looks at over the past 8 years, 10 years, basically from the U.S. Census Bureau. This basically looks at the inflow and outflow for employment in Cheney. So if you look back at 2000 here, approximately 2,900 people in Cheney who worked in Cheney or who lived in Cheney left Cheney and went to, approximately 2,900 people worked in Cheney every day, and approximately 2,200 people left Cheney every day for work, and approximately 900 people who lived in Cheney stayed in Cheney for work. So the purple line on that graph there basically shows you people who live in Cheney and work in Cheney. That's still really constant, around 800, 1,500 people. The interesting thing is the number of people that come into Cheney, which was around 2,900, had peaked up around 20 or 3,300, and has actually started to drop off. But what you see is the outflow, which was around 2,200 people, dropped down to 1,800 or so, then has increased. And as of 2017, crisscrossed. We actually now have more people leaving Cheney every day for work versus staying in Cheney for work or coming in. So we've actually flipped. We used to be, again, the university was a big draw for employment. That's probably dropped a little bit, and more people are living in Cheney and working in Spokane or Airway Heights or some other location for work. So hopefully we'll get some more data here in the next couple of years. Right now it's up to 2018. There's about a 2 to 3 year lag time on data from the Census Bureau on this. But once we get more data, we'll see if this is a trend that's going to continue or soften. Obviously, the more economic development we can get to occur here in Cheney, obviously make the blue line a little bit stronger and the orange line a little weaker. And the final slide here is really kind of just a map showing that. And basically, of those jobs leaving Cheney every day, roughly 1,021 of those are going to Spokane. 232 are going to Spokane Valley. 86 are going to Medical Lake. Airway Heights is getting 60 people. Four Lakes 27, Liberty Lake 23, and we have 15 people every day going out to Coeur d'Alene for work. So it just kind of gives you more of a geographic breakdown of kind of where people are going for jobs. Obviously, the more jobs we create in Cheney, the more people we keep here. But this is from a web map service called On the Map, and it's a free service, and you can run it for anywhere in the United States. At the city level, zip code level, county, whatever the geography of your choosing is. And you can run unemployment, or excuse me, job data at a very granular level to each job, manufacturing base, so forth. And this data goes back about 15 years. So that's what I have for kind of a unemployment and economic update. If you have any questions, just holler.
Quick question, Brett. Is there any data
Yeah.
that shows those jobs that left Cheney? I mean, is that because we lost some higher paying jobs and, with the XN building and that kind of, like, do we know anything like that?
No, we really don't. We don't know why they left. We just know those jobs have left Cheney and gone somewhere else. And we're not too sure what the cause of those things. It could be a variety of issues. It could be higher paying jobs elsewhere. It could be, the university's gone through various cycles of hirings and layoffs. There's just a lot of job growth in Airway Heights. And, if that's a little bit higher pay, people are going to go to where the jobs are. So we don't know really, we know geographically where those jobs are going, but we don't know why or what the reason is without digging a little bit deeper into the economic data. I can try to find out for you and maybe report next month.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you,
Okay.
Brett, for sharing that. Any other questions for Brett at the moment?
Okay, I'll do a stop share.
Awesome. Thank you. Jill, do you have anything to add from the city update?
I have a number of items that the mayor asked me to share with you because he couldn't be on tonight. And I'll try to answer any questions, but I've just kind of been given some bullet points. So what he said is we have, and Brent might be able to fill in some of this stuff too, but he said we have some new playground equipment coming at the Haglund Park that's going in very soon. The next thing he said was that the state has allocated $11.5 million to us for our water reuse project, the Purple Pipe project, and wanted to again state that we appreciate our 6th district legislator support who helped get that funding for us. It's not everything we asked for, but it's huge. So that's really, really great. the next thing he said was that the city is supporting EWU staying in Division I athletics. And we passed a resolution for that support at City Council at our last meeting last week. Next thing he said, there's new bus shelters that are going in at the Four Lakes exit, I guess, on both sides of 904. You probably have seen that construction going on. Douglas, he had a note for you. He said, we're willing to help financially for the swoop statue downtown. And I don't have details on that. But the next one was, he said, we're looking at options that will be able to support economic development downtown. We're very happy, of course, that the governor put a 2-week hold on changing phases for Spokane County, and that we need to stay focused on staying safe, and that the city, next item, sorry. The city is focused on bringing high-speed and reliable broadband to Cheney through Patera, who's already here, and Avista Edge will be providing service very soon this year. They're still working on that. And the last thing he said was that the city is mourning the passing of Dr. Cullinan. If you haven't heard, Dr. Mary Cullinan just passed away, and no details have been released as to the cause or anything, but we really did appreciate her collaboration with the city. And the only other thing I can share from the depot perspective, we're moving forward. We just got a $305,000 grant approved from the Heritage Preservation Capital Grant in the state budget. So we just found out about that, which is fantastic, and it is a match, but that's great. And then yesterday, some of us went to Dr. Pete Hansen's memorial service, was held out at Cheney or Spokane Memorial Gardens, and his family has let us know that they are willing to honor his commitment to the depot. And a lot of his family members that were there from really all over the country were very interested and talked about the depot and how much it meant to him, and how he did not want to see it demolished like the railroad wanted to do. So we have the family support and backing still. So that's good news. Service was very nice. And I think that's everything. That's a lot. If you do have questions, I'll try and answer them, or maybe Brett can help.
Great, thank you, Jill. On the swoop statute, does that mean because we originally went for hotel motel tax for that. So was that approved at a city council thing for the whole funding of that? Or was the city just going to take on a different route of paying that? I guess.
I will have to get back to you on that.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, he didn't give me the details. So
Okay.
I just want to quickly echo what Jill just said. We have the equipment for the park. It's down at the utility building in our courtyard. They're slowly up in the slide and a few things. So I think Lucky and his crew will be getting that moved out to the park here shortly. And as Jill mentioned, we got the 10 or $11 million for the Purple Pipe project. So that'll help bring reclaimed water from the wastewater treatment plant back across the train tracks eventually. And then hopefully we'll be able to use that for irrigation for some of our parks. So our potable water coming from our wells will be really used for drinking water and less for landscaping. So it helps kind of give us some cush here in terms of preserving that good water for drinking. So that's it.
So does that mean we hopefully won't have any restrictions on water this year? Or is that
Well,
what you call?
yes and no. It'll help for the irrigation side of the ledger. There's still the challenges, our new well number 2 that we re-drilled last year is pumping pretty well, but if that draws down, we will have to relook at, water conservation and other things. We did pass a ordinance a while back, a couple months ago, for drought tolerant landscaping. So we are encouraging, as new businesses come in, to use more xeriscape, junipers, rocks, gravels, and things like that, and less English gardens and lawns. So those are all things we're encouraging, but obviously, as we grow, water will be a continual demand. So, yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. I don't believe we have anyone from Eastern. I have one update from KP that Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, twice daily, are campus tours right now, going on now until, should give an end date?
I don't
Going on now till sometime in the future, as well as staff will slowly start coming back on July 1st, and they'll slowly be bringing them back in. And they are setting up a vaccination site, forget exactly the dates, up on campus. And I wasn't sure when I talked last if that would actually be available, if anyone knows, if that'll be available for the Cheney public or just EW, but they are setting up this summer. So I think it's middle of July is the game plan for that. So does anyone else have any news about EW that they possibly know to share? Okay. On the Swoop statue, I just read an email, but we are copying the one from the EW bookstore, and so we're going to hopefully have their help in making sure that the statue comes well painted and whatnot. And they're going to hopefully help direct people downtown, because we're ideally getting it positioned on the corner of College and First, also direct people up to the campus that way. So hopefully that'll be a good pairing for the fall festival that we hope to have. Okay, West Plains Chamber. We don't have Tom here. I don't see anyone else, unfortunately.
He's still at the depot meeting, I think.
Okay, perfect. So Kelly, Parks and Rec.
Hello, we are gearing up for summer, and so we have quite a few programs that are coming in May. We have on May 15th, we have a babysitting course for ages 12 to 15. And we also have Muffins with Mom. It's kind of like a Mother's Day celebration that's going to be in Veterans Park on the 15th. It's $5 for a family to show up. There are pastries donated from Yolks, Safeway, and Grocery Outlet. And we also have orange juice and coffee that will be there with some arts and crafts for kids and families to participate in. We currently have drop-in basketball on Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 7:30 in the morning, and it's $5 per drop-in, and it's at the Wren Pearson Community Center. And we have drop-in volleyball, which is on Fridays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., and that's $5 per drop-in. And these are both 18 and older for adults. Our Camp Caslo registration opened yesterday, and we have limited availability due to COVID restrictions, so we can socially distance. So if you know anybody who needs childcare this summer, please have them give us a call ASAP to get their kids registered. We also have swim lesson registration that is currently open, and those fill up pretty quickly, so I also recommend calling early. And we are currently hiring lifeguards and camp counselors. So if you know anybody who wants to be a lifeguard or a camp counselor, send them our way. Also, if somebody is interested in being a lifeguard but doesn't have the funds to become certified, because it can be kind of pricey, the Spokane Parks Foundation is sponsoring, I think, up to $100 for first-time lifeguards, and then $75 for lifeguards that are recertifying. So if anybody has any questions about that, they can call our office. But that's it for right now.
Perfect. Thank you, Kelly. Cheney School District.
I don't think they're on. We do have Crystal from the library.
Okay, perfect. Crystal?
Hello. So for Cheney Clean Sweep, the Cheney Library had the drug take back events in our parking lot, and I was there. We collected 170 pounds of meds that day, and 106 people came through. So it was pretty great. And that was, I think, I can't even remember when it was, but the weather was kind of rainy, so we weren't sure if people were going to come, but I thought it was a pretty good turnout. And for events, let me get this up here. So we're doing something pretty new and interesting for us. We're having an antique Zoom show where people can bring their collectibles, their antiques, their furniture, their books, and we actually have local antique shop owners going to be giving them feedback. So that's something new and exciting we're doing this month. That's happening Friday at 6:30 and then Saturday at 2 p.m. And we're also having every Thursday evening, we have an online evening story time at 6:30 where one of our children's librarians reads a book and does activities with kids via Zoom. So that's every Thursday at 6:30. And then we also have on May 20th at noon, SCORE Spokane is going to be hosting Understanding Your Financial Statements program, where they'll go through that. And of course, everything's free at the library. And we have some other events too. I won't read them all. I am hosting a Medicare 101 class on May 17th at 6 p.m. And that's a really thorough overview of Medicare for people who are going to be joining or already in. It's done by a state insurance, the Office of Insurance. Oh, I can't remember the acronym now. But anyway, it's someone who knows so much about it. And I always learn something when I'm hosting it. So if anyone's interested in Medicare, we have a really good program where you can bring your questions and she'll answer them in a non-biased way, of course, not trying to sell you anything. So let me put that link in the chat, of course, to all our events that you can sign up for. Everything's still on Zoom for programs, but the library's open. Phase 3, we get to keep our numbers the same, so that's nice. And then one more thing, I don't know if this group shares job openings, but the library is hiring right now for a position. So I'll just put that in there if that's something you want to share. It's at our Moran Prairie branch. So thought I'd share that, but I think that's everything.
Great, thank you, Crystal. Okay, we're gonna move on to Cassie's gonna talk about social media tips and tricks. Before that, we do that, does anyone have any questions for any of our speakers? Okay, Cassie.
Okay, I'm going to turn it a little bit so you guys can see me. So I'm just going to give you guys a brief overview. Social media is ever changing. And so if you're trying to get more involvement over your social media, really draw people in, it's just kind of good sometimes to know how the algorithms have adjusted, and if there's anything new. So I'm just going to go over some of what's new with social media and how to be successful as a business on social media. And then if you guys have questions, write them down. You can share them at the end. I'd love to try and help. So I think one of the biggest things with social media is making sure that you're staying on brand for what you're trying to, what your goal of your page is. Oh, thanks, Brett. And so making sure that you know what your goal is for your social media, who are you trying to attract, and then really kind of staying on brand. If it gets really confusing or you're posting random stuff all the time, that's going to draw people away from it. It's still pretty on to post 1 to 3 times a day. You don't want to post too much every day, but at least posting once a day keeps people seeing your page in their feed, keeps people interested. If you have the ability, trying to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes every day on your page's feed, commenting on people's things, commenting on people's stories, using an emoji or using like how you can like a post instead of liking it on Facebook, choosing one of the other ones, like hearting it. When you are engaging with people, they will see your stuff more. So if you are engaging with people, Instagram and Facebook will then have your stuff show up in their feeds. So trying to find time to engage with people every day is just going to keep you at front of mind for others. Stories are still a really big thing. The algorithms really like it when you post stories. And that's kind of a place where you can show a little bit of like maybe behind the scenes or, hey, check out my new post. And so watching people's stories is also a good thing to do because that will make your stories show up more frequently. To get more technical, there's a really big thing with especially Instagram right now called Reels. It's a different kind of video that's short. If you post those on your page and in your stories, you will be all over people's feeds. So if anyone has questions or wants to kind of talk more about that, I can go over it more in depth, but it's definitely kind of its own beast, trying to figure it out. I'm working on figuring it out for my own pages right now. But yeah, I think, just making sure that you're engaging with people on your page, you're posting regularly, not just to your feed, but also to your stories. And then, yeah, I think that when we can be posting for our businesses, but also, like shout out to another business, that can help build involvement too, and just uplift other businesses. And so maybe occasionally posting about an event that's happening, through the city or the library or something. And then by tagging another business, you're going to get more viewers on your page and you're drawing people to another place in Cheney. So when we, uplift each other, everybody wins. But that's kind of what's new with social media and how to stay front of mind for people. Does anyone have any questions or things that they run into problems with or ways that they have found work for them? Nothing. Crickets. Okay. If anyone,
I don't do the social media for the library, so sorry.
Yes.
We have a whole other
Good.
department for that.
Yeah, you have and it's like all of the Spokane County is one page. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And
I appreciate this because we're trying to ramp up for the depot and trying to really start getting our social media pages more active. And we have a team of a few of us starting to work on that, and we really need to ramp it up. We've got big goals. We need to really start raising money to match these grants and things that are coming in. So we've got a big need.
Yeah.
So the more we can get out there and people understand that, this is an expensive endeavor to get us going and up and running and open, the better it's going to be. And so, yeah, I appreciate the information. And we've got a few different people working on it, but I might reach out to you at some point too.
Definitely.
That's
If you
okay.
guys have questions pop up, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on social media. I'm going to put the kind of the notes and thoughts that I had into the meeting minutes, and I'll put my phone number in there too, if any, or an email address that you guys can reach out to if questions do arise. Social media can be really hard to figure out, but once you figure it out, it is not so bad. So I'm happy to help if anyone needs help.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Jill, another thing, I know it's been a weird year, but as college comes back in the fall, I know it's quite a ways off, is reaching out to the communication and marketing department. There is always people looking for internships to run social media accounts around Cheney. That's how we've had a ton of people work and do the mason jar and the jars, and it's been really successful. So that's another avenue.
That's a good idea, Debbie. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Treasurer's report?
Yeah, treasurer's
Anything else
report.
before that?
I think we hit all the main bullet points. Yeah.
Treasurer's report, we really haven't spent anything major. We had to renew our website. That was probably the biggest expense. So we're still sitting at $13,000. Well, I just wrote that check. So $13,100 roughly is where we're at. So do you want any update about
The website?
website?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wasn't there, so if you could update more, but he is, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our board meeting last week, I don't know, it's all a blur, but Cassie and I met and we're moving forward with the website design company. What is the name? Kraken. So just really, kind of getting an idea of a little bit more of what we want the website to do. He shared some websites for us to look at. We kind of gave some feedback of what we liked, the simple things. And so if you guys have anything that you would like from our website, I mean, our goal really is to try to make this website kind of Chini's identity, I think. So if there's something, info needs that you guys see, by all means, reach out to us, because we can only create what we think we need. And if there's other opinions, we're open to it. So hoping to have that by August is kind of where we're looking at next. And so just so you guys are all in the loop on that one.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna start working on plans for September and some of that signage and whatnot. So hopefully we will get going on that before June, and so that we'll have some plans and game plan, because those things take a while. And I know with summer kind of gets crazy and hectic and all over the place, it'll be here in no time. So hopefully we'll have some things to present next meeting about that, and then we can get some, of course, obviously with COVID still in mind and what phase we may be at or may not be at that time, kind of might limit us, but we'll hopefully have some ideas. And then if you guys can think of some ideas too that you might think would generate some excitement or participation in it. Again, we're focused on doing it on Friday night, I think on September 9th, could be wrong, maybe the 10th, 9th, 10th, in the evening on College Street, not really blocking off any roads, mainly just College Street, and having people walk around viewing the new signage or some of the new signage, hopefully some of the spaces that might be available, historic plaques, and then again, what other activities we can have to kind of engage people. Also promoting the new swoop statue, hopefully that'll be done and up, as well as our new marketing campaign and some things like that. So obviously we want some possibly kids games or some music and etc. Obviously all to be COVID safe and that whatnot, but please think on some ideas so that you guys can get back to us. We'd love to have Parks and Rec involved in some way, or the library. If you guys could bring something down, maybe set up a little booth and kind of participate in certain ways, that'd be awesome. So it's just kind of getting people wandering around town, kind of redeveloping and getting excited about the changes that we want to see happen. So yeah, anything else at the moment?
I have one more thing I forgot to mention. Hold on one second.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I got interrupted. I met with, or I spoke with the, the rural outreach coordinator for Meals on Wheels, and they are looking at bringing in hot meals and to-go meals for senior citizens, hopefully beginning sometime in June. They've gotten a grant. They're reaching out to Cheney and to Airway Heights both, and looking for locations in order to actually host these, to have sit-down hot meals, have hot soup, to have meals that the seniors can take home with them. And so I did refer him to Mark at the city and see if, depending on where all this COVID stuff is, maybe the rent is an option, especially with the park being across the street, because he said there might be times where they want to bring in a music venue, be outside and have people sit outside and stuff. And, that would be ideal to be able to just walk right across the street to the park too. So anyway, that's something that sounds like it's coming for sure. They want to bring this to Cheney, and because of the growth in both cities, us and Airway Heights. And there'll be more information to come on that one, but it's pretty cool. It's more than just having coupons that are given out to seniors every month. That program is ending this month, so this one is like what they do in Spokane and Spokane Valley now. So,
Thank you,
That-
Jill.
yeah.
Anyone else have any other things? If not, I think.
Oh, hold on. I was asked to share with the group for the good of the order. West Plains Angels and Carlos, who is trying to open a restaurant at the old Willow Springs restaurant. He hasn't named it yet, so I can't give you that name. But apparently they are putting together a vendor Saturday sale thing. So they're looking for people if you want to sign up to have booths and sell stuff down in that Willow Springs parking lot every Saturday. They're saying it's free. They're inviting anybody to join that. So don't know much more than that. I would say reach out to Tony at West Plains Angels or Carlos at CNS Auto right now, and they can give you more information on what that looks like. But so.
And it looks like Kristen hopped on. Kristen, we shared what you sent us, but was there anything else you wanted to share?
Hi, I'm about to be driving, sorry. I don't think, off the top of my head, I really can't think of anything else that's different than what we've already discussed. We're just kind of working on more fine tuning for homecoming. So as each different department and group has more information with that, we'll get back to you guys on that. Yeah, we're still up in the air on a lot of like when tickets are going to be available for sports. They just lost their ticket manager, so I don't really have a lot for athletics as of right now. I'm sure you all heard of the passing of Dr. Cullinan. Very sad. We don't know any information that we have been told on campus. Just that the family has asked not to be contacted. So that's pretty much all we know about that. It was a really sad surprise. Other than that, I just can't really think of anything big. If I do before next month, I'll just shoot you guys an email to help maybe send out to everybody. But yeah, I can't really think of anything.
Awesome.
Thanks. Okay, well, thank you guys. We'll see you on June 2nd, 5:30. That'll be our next meeting. So again, June 2nd, 5:30. Have a good night.
Hi, guys.
Bye.